Who's praying us in?
You are. I did
am.
the last prayer.
Outstanding.
Well, we can have Dustin do it. Well, we'll have Priscilla do the next one.
All right.
For the next episode.
All right. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together. Father, we ask that you sit with us. You sit with us with Dustin and Priscilla, Father, that we can help another soul. Father, these times are so precious, Father. Just help us speak. Help us talk to those ones that are still struggling. Those ones that just came through the holidays, Father, because this episode will air right after the holidays, Father. Let's pray for those people. Pray that they find the right place to go. They find the path, and they finally surrender to you, Father, and they finally surrender to this miserable disease. Father, we ask that you sit with us right now and you walk through us and you keep our minds focused. And we pray this in your name. Amen. Let's go to work.
Amen.
Out there is Harbor Drive. They're pretty good.
So sober group?
No, by far no.
Quite the opposite. His neighbor, they live on Harbor Drive.
So he lives on Harbor Drive, and he actually helped me get started in this podcast. It was a funny story. I was struggling, with a lot of stuff getting started, and I just had, because I knew he had a band, and I'm like, hey, can you help me with an intro? And he's like, because I'm trying to do this and this, and he's like, Larry, you know I do a podcast, right? And I go, absolutely not. He's like, so he helped me figure out how to get things up and rolling. He was very instrumental. Then shortly after that, he stopped his podcast and put his band back together. He's won multiple band competitions. He was just up for a new rock band for local areas. They're doing extremely well. So pretty excited that he's a part of my group. When I asked him to do an intro to this, he gave me that, which was pre-cut before they actually recorded their new album. So it was all pre-cut before. That's not even in studio yet. So their album's now released out of studio and everything. So it's always good to have a friend. And when you ask if that's a sober band, I'm like, absolutely not. Is that a sober band? That's just a very close friend of mine that I love to do.
So the audio's locked in already.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Welcome back. That voice is Dustin,
yes,
by the way.
Is.
We didn't introduce you correctly, Dustin.
All right, I'm Dustin, and I'm an alcoholic.
Welcome in.
And so getting a little used to hearing my voice on the audio. So
yeah, nobody likes the sound of their voice for some reason. I don't like mine, but I'm used to it now.
Yeah. So experience, strength, and hope. Just start from the top. Okay.
Yep. We may break in from time to time.
I'm trying to get acclimated to California again after that hour-long jet lag flight from Vegas.
From Vegas. Flight in.
Well, actually driving a car again, and we've been walking.
When did you guys get into Vegas?
We flew into Vegas Thursday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys don't gamble?
No.
No,
I spent the whole $30 there.
Nice. What did you go there for?
So we went for the State Line conference.
Okay.
Which is put on by Bob D from Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I've heard about the conference from a couple other members in the past. I had asked Bob to sponsor me, and it was kind of, in order for me to be sponsored by him, he wanted to see my face, and he's from Vegas, so it was out of town deal.
Yeah, right.
And I kind of thought it was going to be my deal, and it turned out not to be the long distance sponsorship.
Yeah, that would be rough. Yeah.
Well, we had money into it, and we couldn't get our money back on the flights, so we went to Vegas.
Oh, you talking recently be your sponsor?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're in the hunt for a new sponsor?
Right now, actually, I have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I found another guy that's.
So Rob, you're out. I saw you getting all excited over there, Rob. I saw you getting excited.
No, hey, by the way, because what just happened the last podcast, the one we did before you guys got here, I got fired.
Really?
Larry fired
I
me.
fired his ass.
Dude, I cried, Priscilla.
Yeah.
Tears of fucking joy.
Which brings this up. In fact, that's Priscilla, by the way. This is Dustin's wife.
Soon to be.
Soon to be. Oh, soon to be.
In February.
Nice. Congratulations. Sorry. I thought that was already done.
Not yet.
So we're going to have you step outside then. This is only husband-wife thing. I'm kidding. Anyways, so I got to ask this. Is Rob a big of pain in the ass at work as he is in AA rooms?
No, absolutely not. No.
Damn it.
No.
Damn it.
But you know what? Let me do a disclosure.
Oh, boy.
Because all of the hard asses or anybody that has a bad rep at work, I always get the good side of them. I don't know how that works out. So I don't.
They're scared of you, Priscilla.
Must be.
They're scared of you.
I think because they know who your mom is too.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, so I got fired.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, liberating almost. And the gentleman that I sponsor is not going to take him back to the steps, Doug. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I've been praying for Doug.
Okay.
He needs to be prayed for.
So where did you grow up, Dustin? Where you from?
I'm from Modesto.
Okay, local
Grew up,
boy.
yeah, locally Modesto. Mom's not one of us. Dad's definitely one of us. Alcoholic. You know, I know his experience. So, you know, my dad was in and out of prison. Mom came over here from Baltimore, Maryland. You know, my dad couldn't get her to finish a 4-pack of wine coolers. You know what I mean? Back in the day. And she just, and that's one thing that I was blessed with. You know, she's not one of us. And it wasn't a lot. When my dad was out of prison, it was definitely in the house. You know, I seen triple beam scales and motorcycles and hot rods and
The good stuff.
all the stuff, you know, that led up to my alcoholism. You know, so you know, when I was 15, I was made a ward of the state. My first introduction to alcohol was E&J brandy. I took a cap full. Yeah, that's what I thought, right? Well, I took a cap full, put it in my mouth, and my brother's telling me, swallow it, you know, and I spit it back out. Or I tried to swallow it, and I ended up, like, puking it back up. I couldn't even get it down. So my first introduction to any kind of outside substances was marijuana.
Okay.
And I loved it, you know, and nothing happened. Went swimming at the local pool at Davis High School. Came home, nothing happened. You know, I got away with it. You know, Mom, I think I was 12.
No consequences.
No consequences,
Right.
you know, 12, 13 years old, maybe. Trying to get my brother to smoke, and he was
Older,
he would-
younger brother.
Older.
Okay.
He's 5 years older than me. So that was my first introduction to any kind of chemicals, any other substances. And, you know, so the first night that I really remember getting plastered was Seagram's gin.
Okay.
You know,
Ouch.
stole a gallon of gin from Save Mart. You know, I was
How old were you?
Going to be 15.
Okay.
No, maybe 14. I think it was 14. My brother's friend, some girl that she liked Alex, threw this party for me, and she baked me a cake and, you know, threw this whole party for me, right? And then I come to find out she's in the bedroom making out with Alex, and I had some pepper spray, and I've already been hitting this gallon of gin, right? So I go through the whole house and I spray pepper spray on the walls through the whole house, and I'm out on top of the carport watching everybody just vacate the house, you know. So I've been a resentful little bastard since I was young. Angry, grew up a lot of anger issues, you know. I'll back up a little bit, and what I'm about to tell you doesn't make me an alcoholic. I was molested when I was 8. No penetration, but had some stuff go on. And when I told my mom what happened, she didn't believe me. So it was her best friend's son who had done it.
Wow. How much older was he?
He was like 13, 14. I was about 7 or 8.
Gotcha.
You know, so there was some, you know, fondling, some stuff happened. No penetration, but when I told her, she didn't believe me, told me I made it up, and I started isolating from there on. Jay's family was the neighborhood hangout spot. You know, his dad hunt, fish, had 3-wheelers, you know, boat.
The fun town.
You know,
the fun family.
The fun. You know, I lived on one side of Strivens, Sisk, you know, the lower part of Highway Village.
Yeah.
If you guys, anybody know where that's at, you know, I lived on the duplex side, and they lived in the neighborhood, you know. So from that point on, man, I started, as I look back, I seen to where I started isolating and stopped trusting people. And my mom was supposed to be my hero, you know, so.
Or protector, too.
Right. And all the neighborhood kids, you know, why don't you go to Jay's house anymore? You know, he was the one that touched me, whatever. So none of that makes me an alcoholic. It kind of fueled my isolation, my trust issues, the stuff that led into my alcoholism that led me to a lot of self-will run riot, you know? So, you know, like I said, you know, moved away from there, 14, had that issue where I got drunk, got plastered, you know, don't really remember none of that night, except running through the house spraying pepper spray.
That's so funny.
You know, you know, from the time we moved there from 90 to 94. I was 15. You know, my brother used to have to get in between me and my mom fighting. I'm punching holes in the walls. I got anger issues.
Oh, wow.
All that good stuff, you know. So in and out of juvenile hall 12, 13 times. Graduated from co-ed juvenile boys unit to co-ed unit to boys unit. And
what were you doing to get into trouble, though? To get locked up?
Stealing.
Okay.
Selling marijuana.
Okay.
Whatever I could.
Okay.
A lot of truancy. A lot of theft. And so they made me a ward of the state, and when I was 15, and they told me they were going to put me in a group home in Sacramento, and everybody was getting to the top. So all the rest of the kids that would go to a group home, they would get to the top of Blue Gum and Carpenter, and they just jump out, and before they even get on the freeway to go to Sacramento to the group home. So I told Mr. Betancourt, was my probation officer. I told him I'm just going to run. So he looked at me like, what the hell, you know? So they ended up putting me in a foster home, and I was 4 blocks from my mom's house on Prescott.
Oh, wow.
So, I got a clothing allowance there. I got a weekly allowance there. There was food on the table, you know. My good friend Roy lived like 2 houses down, and I had another friend, Jose, that lived down the street, you know. So I stayed there until I was 18. I had to check in every 2 hours. I had to call in to the foster parents every 2 hours, and smoked and did whatever I could, you know,
to escape,
to, you know, in the meantime,
right.
You know, and
I'm going the 2 hours,
right?
Yeah.
To fill
until
up those
curfew.
2 hours
until curfew. You know, I would call
what
in.
Was curfew?
I think it was 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You know, so get out of school, and then I would try to run around and do stuff. Come home smelling like cigarettes, because I was trying to disguise the marijuana. You know,
right.
And the foster grandma told me one day, all of her grandkids were cowboys, and they were the ag guys. They pretty much saved me throughout high school, hanging out with them instead of the rest of the crowd when I did go back to Davis. So long story short, she told me, you know, I'd rather you chew than smoke cigarettes. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, so I started chewing Copenhagen, 15, you know. I went to, so I made my way from Blue Gum to Elliott, and Elliott back to Davis. Mm. And they told me at another one of my resentments, institution that was on my 4-step was, the counselor told me, if you just show up every day, we're going to let you come back as a junior. Your age, you should be a senior. Take a 0 period, 8th period, and a night class, and you'll be able to graduate. And I'm like, okay, cool. That sounds good. You know, so I kept my grades up. Everybody's getting their schedule. All my friends, I'm 18 though, and everybody's getting their schedule, and I should have came back as a senior. And they're like, no, you're not under the ward of the state no more. We don't care what, you're done.
Oh, shit.
So another resentment right there. So, you know, so I graduated out of the foster home. Didn't take any. I didn't take advantage of any of the resources they had as for foster kids. I just went back home.
So hold on. What kind of resources do they have available?
They have a lot of. So if you age out, like
this,
you're
this
18,
mid-90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're 18, like I think they have resources up till you're 23, 24 years old. You know, like some kind of grants that you can go into vocational schools or something.
Some kind of trade school or
something.
And that's great,
yeah.
Actually.
And I didn't take advantage of none of that. You know, I'm gung-ho, self-will, run riot, you know what I mean? And I just do my own thing, you know, and I moved back in with my mom and kept a job I was working at McDonald's McDonald's. Lost that job because I would call in partying. And then when I actually got sick and they fired me for, you know, actually missing too many days or whatever, you know how that happens from our partying. And what was I was drinking and smoking and trying to hang out with some of the old friends back there, you know, and picking up, you know, from the time, I'll back up a little bit, from the time I was probably, 12 till I was 15, crank was around.
Mm. Oh yeah,
you know, the good that one stuff that makes you go fast.
Right. Go fast. We call it powdered accelerants on
powdered
accelerants or dry goods.
It's been a while since I told my story. So
or dry goods. I like that.
Yeah, that's what the guy said this morning or yesterday. The non-conference approved dry goods.
Let's go.
So I mean, I had dabbled with mushrooms and acid and along with the weed before they made me a ward of state when I was 15, and my brother and everybody was doing crank. You know, just one little line and you're playing darts and playing rummy all night long. And
Yes, sir.
30 packs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can stay up all night, you know, and so I had dabbled with some stuff, and so now I'm 18, you know, and living with my mom, lost the job, met my ex-wife. Her dad got me a job. I was now I'm about 23.
Met the ex-wife.
Okay, met the wife.
Met the wife.
Can't say it.
I knew what he meant.
Had to throw the X in there. You know?
She is now.
Got my fiance here across from me, so you know, I had my daughter. She got pregnant. Ran out to Reno, got married.
That's always a good idea.
Yeah, you know,
Why not?
It was income tax time, and
Right.
the family's like, "You guys got to get married." You know,
December
okay,
30th.
Let's go. You know, I got a 16th of Coke, and I drank 11 Long Island iced teas the night of my wedding in Reno at the Silver Legacy. So,
You were still standing after 11 of those?
Dude,
well, you know,
That's a lot.
when they're bringing them to you from the bar, you know,
Right.
from playing.
Oh,
slots,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
a little weak.
yeah.
So I lost count at 11 or 12. But somebody gave me that as a wedding gift.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the family wasn't as structured or healthy.
Right.
You know, my ex-wife's family. So
You didn't have to share the cocaine, though, did you?
no, actually, my wife didn't at the time. She didn't. Yeah.
Good.
So I did it all.
That's
so.
positive. That's positive.
So I had my daughter, man. Got a job with her dad. Worked really close with him. He gets an hour lunch. He's the manager. I'm working with him. We're coming home, and he's hitting the tequila. I'm cracking open a Budweiser. Father-in-law.
Nice.
And rolling a
That
joint.
is great.
Rolling a joint on lunch break.
God,
and then
I need a father-in-law
drive
like
back
that.
out to Thomas Equipment Rentals.
Okay.
California High Reach.
Yeah.
Aerial equipment. You know, we're working around aerial equipment. I'm just a pressure washer, you know what I mean? But they got me driving everything, 120-foot booms, you know, I'm driving scissor lifts, great alls, you know. I got a job with them delivering equipment, and now I'm dabbling back into meth, you know. I quit the job because I remember passing up some exits in Hayward, falling asleep, you know, and my ex-wife's like, "Why the hell are you quit?" I was the highest paid driver. Or that I was a roll-off driver. You know, I wasn't flatbed yet. I remember saying, you know, why'd you quit? Why'd you quit? And she didn't even know I was hiding it from her. So, you know, I'm down on the floorboard smoking off a foil, you know what I mean, in Hayward, but I can't even stay awake because I'm nodding out, you know, and literally passing up exits, you know. So, quit that job and tried to get clean. Picked up another job delivering auto body supplies, and next thing you know, I'm still in Bondo and selling it to all the auto body shops, you know, to pay for my habit, you know, and so lost that job.
Damn it.
Another job, you know, behind alcohol and drugs, you know.
Jobs keep getting in the way.
Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it. So, you know, this is 2003, 2004. I get into a car accident. Me and the ex-wife now, I don't know how you guys, past tense, whatever. She's definitely past tense.
Yeah.
We get rear-ended at Briggsmore and Carver, and the guy was a Vietnam vet, and he had, you know, shrapnel. He caught shrapnel and had a glass eye, and he hits us doing 45, and we're the first car at Briggsmore and Carver.
Wow.
And there was an older lady behind us in like an older Buick, you know, boat. I don't know what it was, you know, big old 4-door boat. When he hit her, I turned around and then she dominoed into us, and it bent the frame of the car. The back doors wouldn't even open no more. But that's how hard it is. So I got $9,700. She got like $6,700, and I bought a Dodge Intrepid for $2,500. And the rest of that money
Do the
went
math.
up my nose.
Do the math.
Yeah. So the rest of the money went up my nose, and by now we got it moved out, and I got an apartment, and my daughter's about, I think, 3 years old, and I'm blacked out, I guess. The last words I remember her telling me was, "You're doing too much." And of course, I'm thinking like she's saying I'm like being too loud or flamboyant, you know, like I'm doing too much, you know. Of course, I'm not doing too much cocaine, but I'm in the fetal position in my bathtub with the cold water running on me because I'm ODing, you know, off of cocaine. And so I get drunk, I'm blacked out, and I gave her a black eye. Got a domestic violence. Her parents come, move her out. I come home to an empty apartment, see one of my best friends, Roy, that lived next to the foster home, see him, move him in. I need somebody to help me pay rent now, right? He's got money, but I'm not asking him, hey, where are you working? Hey, are you financially stable? I just know he's got money, right? Well, he was selling crystal meth. So now here comes
support you.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, so here comes back here comes Crystal into my life. And so when Crystal hit the streets, that was during the time when I was in the foster home, and then I started working with my ex-father-in-law. My brother had gotten strung out on this time, and then that's when meth really hit the streets.
Yeah, buddy.
So I was kind of sheltered. I wasn't around it. All I was doing with the ex-father-in-law was smoking weed and drinking. But I'll just throw this in there. At that one time, I remember being, just tore up in his backyard, drinking and smoking weed, and thinking, man, there's got to be something better in life than this.
Right.
There's got to be, and even then, quarters of weed, $50, $100 a week, we're going through it, and I just remember never giving up on that thought, man. And later on down the road, he moved in with me maybe, I don't know, 2 months, and then I lost the place and I'm back with mom again, and now I'm trying to hustle, trying to get her back, I'm trying to get a job, and I promised this and I promised that. And I collect 6 felonies, a handful of misdemeanors during this time. And, being introduced to living sober when it was on Carver in 2006. And I remember hearing the stories of Alcoholics Anonymous and getting some hope and some relief in the hour meeting. But the way that I was living, as soon as I stepped back out that door, because I was just getting a court card signed. It was Stanislaus County's idea for me. It wasn't my idea then. And but I do remember the stories, and I remember the people sharing and talking how I felt. Mm-hmm. And that's the miracle of Alcoholics Anonymous, the language of the heart, right? So I remember that stuff, man. But as soon as I get out the door, I got to go hustle. I got to go do this. I got to do that. And, the calamity, I guess you call it, the calamity of the world, right? And it wasn't my idea. It was Stanislaus County's idea at the time. And so I come back. Where was I?
Back with mom because you lost the apartment with Roy.
Lost the appointment. Thank you, Rob. Lost the apartment with Roy.
Crystal meth is a great. Crystal, one of my favorite gals in the scene.
And for probably 6 years, man. I remember recently I went back to go get from the Social Security office. I went to go get my employment record, and for 6 years, man, I made like $100 here. I had no employment. And
just hustling,
or stealing.
Stealing, yeah. Well.
I was just stealing, man. I was the guy out there breaking into cars, commercial burglaries, never home invasions, never home robberies. But if you probably had a car and a stereo in the early 2000s, a car stereo gets stolen, it's probably me. I owe you an amends. And that's why I always try to dump what I can in the basket and give my time back to Alcoholics Anonymous, because there's some amends that I'll never be able to make. Because
you never know who you stole it from.
You never know. Right. So, 6 years of that, man. In and out of jail, breaking promises, lost a few cars. The 12th one was a '89 Mustang, and I remember saying, "Man, the cops got it," because I got driving on suspendeds over and over again, and the cops got it, and I settled into riding a bike like a tweaker, and now I'm one of them guys with the flashlight on my head. You know what I mean? I'm running around.
Wasn't it John that said the same thing? John Westside John said the same thing.
Yeah. But he had the flashlight on his head. Right. He was living in Denair.
Right.
Going across the railroad tracks and dumped the bike and cut himself. Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
That could have been me right there. Yeah, so at some time, man, I just I gave up, and I just said, you know what, man, my dad's prison life, I just settled I was going to go to prison one day. I just kind of had given up. So that thought that I had that something's got to be out there better.
How old were you about this time, Dustin?
24.
Oh, so this all happened in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, real quick, because I got sober when I was 30.
Okay.
So
all right.
From 2006 and on until my sobriety is 2011. So
Bring that over a little bit. There you go.
From 2006 to 2011, I keep trying to pull it away because I don't like my voice.
I can turn you
Better
down.
than mine.
Let me turn you down a little bit, Dustin. That'll probably help you.
Only reason why you can turn it back up a little bit.
Okay.
All right. That's better. Thank you, Larry.
Uh-huh.
So, like I said, there was very little employment, breaking promises, going to jail. None of my cases were habitual offender, thank God, because they didn't send me to prison.
Right.
So I would get county time and then probation, county time, probation, county time, probation. And then a meth dealer landed like 2 houses down from me, man. And
Hallelujah.
Hell yeah.
And
fucking Rob, you are an enabler. Damn it.
Yeah, that's when the disease really progressed for me. And I'm getting ounces of stuff fronted to me for $600, and it's going for $1,200 at the time.
Right.
And I have nothing to show for it. I got a stack of freaking DVD players, a freaking 4-wheeler that needs a carburetor that's taken apart in my garage. And I got people telling me, man, you need to have a yard sale, bro. Like, and I thought I was the best solid, human being out there in the neighborhood. I'm
always working.
I'm the honest drug dealer. You know what I mean? I'm a solid white guy. I'm out there. I'm just doing what I can, and everybody's bringing their stuff to me. And all I did is I got a bunch of stolen shit in my garage. Putting my mom's house at risk. In that time from I think it was 2006, I got busted, and I almost got my mom evicted. I got busted with 6 pounds of weed, and I stole all of it. And they were telling me, you're going to go to jail for cultivation. And I'm like, but I didn't grow it. I stole it. And I really thought that was going to get me out of trouble. You know what I mean? And when I get out, I did a couple county years, 4 months, 6 months, did 2 county years. And after you do 2 county years, they're going to send you to prison the next time, Well, that one time I got out, and, landlord found out I was living there. They brought a letter from Section 8 saying, MPD sent the landlord a letter. And I begged him, don't kick my mom out, we ain't got nowhere to go. And, so there's more consequences, yet I stopped paying attention to them. None of them scared me. Can't scare an alcoholic, right?
No.
And, when I had all that cocaine that I was getting, I thought I was going to be the next Scarface. I had these grandiose thoughts, man. I really related to Bill W.'s story because that was me,
Right.
I'm going to be this great drug dealer, and little did I know, I end up back in jail, over that time. So now, like I said, let me get back to the story. It's 2010, 2011, selling major product at the time. Not major. I thought it was major,
Well,
more
to
grandiose
you, yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
And, I get busted for a petty theft. My ex-wife was pregnant with my youngest daughter. And I get busted for a petty theft, and it was my daughter's birthday. It was June 17th.
Ouch.
And
I was 16 days sober.
2011 at the time.
Yeah, I was 16 days sober when that happened.
Yeah, and I'm pissed off at my ex-wife. She's in the garage rolling a joint, and I'm pissed off about something. I just spent money on a blow-up water slide or bouncer. Bought my daughter gifts, and because I'm this big-time drug dealer at the time. You
got to show it.
Riding a bike, right?
Got to
I'm
show
a
it.
drug dealer, but I'm riding a bike. And I'm pissed off about something, and I'm like, I'm going to Winco, and I go to Winco, and I had this gut feeling as I'm walking out with stealing some shit. Three boxes or 3 things of Chips Ahoy cookies, 2 Gillette razor refills. So it's like $24 worth of stuff. And I almost walk outside, and I get this gut feeling, don't do it, right?
Oh, wow.
So I go and I put the stuff down. I go outside, I look, there's nobody around. Oh, I was riding that electric bike. I thought that thing was badass. It was for physically physically challenged people that had electric bikes at the time back then. I thought that thing was the shit. That was my.
Did you steal it?
Oh yeah, stole it right out of Walmart. Right out of Walmart, baby. So I go back inside. I grab the bag, and nobody was there when I went out the first time. The second time, I go back out, and I'm walking towards the bike. The badass electric bike, and I just get tackled from behind. No, it was a short African-American dude, and he's trying to grab his badge out of his shirt, and he grabs me by my arm, and I just reach back to swing on him, and then I get wrapped up by this corn-fed white dude, man. Takes me to the ground, just bam, So long story short, here's this big-time drug dealer. I go to jail for a petty theft, and they tell me, you're done. 9 years. Wow. All those years of those probation cases,
caught you.
They're adding all up,
right.
And so they're done with me. They're sending you to prison. This is June 17th, day before my daughter's birthday. My
daughter's birthday is my birthday then, June 18th.
18th.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's Elizabeth's birthday. Ex-wife goes to the man next door. Will you bail him out? Blah, blah, blah. I've never bailed out. You don't bail out. You do your time because I know I'm going to catch another crime if I bail out. And that's just the way it goes. You ain't going to probation, She has him bail me out. He drops me off as the party's going. My daughter's birthday party's going on. He's dropping me off. And he's like, it was $1,000 to get you out. I put $700 down. You owe Joanne $300 and you owe me the other $700, or you have to pay me back the whole $1,000. I'm like, fuck, okay, whatever, So party happens, I go re-up from him, and I'm trying to pay back what I owe him, and I paid Joanne's off the $300 bail bonds. Now I'm trying to pay down the $700 that I owe him, and I worked it down to like $500. I got people boosting from Kohl's, and I'm giving them gift cards and paying him down with whatever I can, and he's taking it because his wife likes shopping. And
she's a woman.
He was a bass boat salesman from Oregon, man. And sometimes I walked out of his garage, signed up for shit I wouldn't even know what I signed up for. Major mouthpiece, right? And she sold weed, so she was selling pounds of weed. He's selling meth. Anyway, so one day I walk in his garage, and now it would take me a day or 2 days, maybe 3 days to sell. It's taking me 2 weeks, and now it's taking me 3 weeks. And I'm still using, trying to, but I got this threat of 9 years hanging over my head. I'm out on bail or whatever. And he tells me, what's going on? Why is it taking so long? And I'm like, shit, man, I'm threatening prison and my heart just ain't in it. She's pregnant.
Were you not pushing it that hard?
I wasn't pushing it that hard anymore.
Right.
Because now I have somewhat of a conscience.
Right.
My daughter, she was pregnant with my youngest daughter. Does anybody really want to go in prison?
No.
I wasn't that bad to where just straight up derelict, hood, criminal. I wasn't running that hard. I thought I was harder than I thought I was, So he tells me, what were you, what's going on? And I'm just like, shit, man, honestly, my heart ain't in it, and
Right.
His mother-in-law was in Narcotics Anonymous and had 25 years. And he said, look, if you don't ever touch this again, you don't owe me that other $500 for that bet.
Oh, wow. Money. Good for him.
So to this day, after I've walked out of his garage, I never touched that shit again. But what I did do is I went back to gin, and I had a prescription of Loratab Vicodins, the Loratab Blues, sitting in my garage. I'm like, okay, so I'll kick with them. So I'm kicking the meth with that stuff, smoking more weed, drinking more gin. So I just went back to what I knew, He
did you. Yeah. Went from meth to Jack Daniels. Same thing.
Well, I was doing both anyway. I just couldn't do this anymore because I failed a drug test at work. 20, right when Mr. Benson got hired. Okay. 20-something years ago. Yeah. So Jack Daniels never did me wrong. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, trade one for another.
Yep.
And that's how, so now it's about 30 days goes by. I'm drinking like a fish, man. It's not to the point to where I'm getting the shakes or anything, but I have to have something in the morning. When I was selling meth, I was sleeping off of the meth.
Right.
I had this guy. One time, I remember this girl that was selling for me. I'll just a little tidbit of information there. I get a batch of some stuff. She's gone for 4 days trying to find something better, and comes back finally with something better. And she's like, "Well, where is that stuff?" And I'm like, it's freaking gone already. It was quarter pound's gone already. That's how good this stuff was. She, so, but I'm sleeping off of it, and I have to wake up to a half pint and a bowl.
Right.
That's how bad it got, to where just for me to get right, just for me to be able to even look at my ex-wife, to deal with life, You know what I mean? Just don't fuck with me. Just let me get straight first.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how bad it had gotten. And so he tells me, if you don't touch it no more, I'm not touching it no more. That's the only promise I ever fucking kept. Besides slamming drugs, man, I always I'll throw this in there too. When I was younger, I remember seeing my mom clean up my dad's needles in his tie off. Because he slammed drugs intravenously. And I remember telling my mom, I will never touch a needle, Mom. And that's, there was so many times that I would pipe drunk, and other people that I was hanging out with are trying to get me to slam. So those are probably the only 2 promises I ever kept, wow. During my addiction. But I did stuff, I never did no heroin. I didn't, smoke crack maybe once or twice, but, never got into nothing hardcore, than meth, So like I said, it was probably 3 months. I'm drinking like a fish. They offered me 7 years from 9 years. Within the 3 months of going to court, they offered 7, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. They offered 5 years. Nah, let me talk to my wife. At the time, I talked to a few other homeboys. They're like, oh, you're only going to get half of that. First time in prison, you're only going to do half. So 2.5, 2 years, 2.5 years. So that's if I don't get into trouble. So I go back to court. I think, before the court date, my mom's caretaker's husband he made a batch of Pruno with a vodka base, cooked it up, and he gave me 4 Big Slam bottles full, the Mountain Dew Big Slams. Mm-hmm. And this is during the time that she's still living with me, and I'm out on bail, and I'm going to court and stuff. And I drank all 4 of them, and I only remember the first couple drinks out of the Big Slam. And the next morning, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to slide out of bed to go get a bottle, go get my hustle on, do something. And, like I said, I hadn't had the shakes, nothing like that bad yet. But she's like, you remember anything you did last night? I'm like, oh, she sounds like Charlie Brown's mom.
Right.
Want. And like I said, I had been to living sober before that, right? And let me back up really quick, fast, man. In 2009, going on a court card to living sober, I seen a roommate from the Honor Farm, straight heroin addict. He's got this gleam in his eyes, man, and he's got this book in his hand, and
happy.
Straight Freedom.
This book?
That book, big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I see him outside living sober. He talks me into going to a sponsor's house. And I do a 4-step. I get sober for, 9 months. 9 months, got to step 9. Didn't tell him about that molestation when I was 8. Because I was going to kill that man. So on top of a sick secret, it was resentment. As I'm reading doing the 5th step with Marvin, I knew I was holding back. And when it got time for me to write out my amends, I'm living on Randazzo at the time, where the dope connection moves in 2 doors down from me.
Wow. Okay.
I slide the step work across the table and said, man, these people harmed me still. And I wasn't on my part. Right. I didn't, because I wasn't honest. I truly believe that. And so that was in 2009. Had 9 months. Now it's 2011. I drink the
September-ish.
Pruno, August, September.
Explain
around there.
Pruno to me. I'm sorry. That's a new one. I mean, I've heard it, but I've never actually had somebody explain
We
it.
made it in the Navy. Go ahead.
I couldn't. It's what they make in prison. It's,
right.
It's
that's
alcohol,
kind of.
but it's made out of fruit. And this guy had a bunch of fruit trees. He owned a whole lot.
Okay.
He owned a lot, and he rented out. He had the back house, and he had a bunch of fruit trees. So all I remember is walking by as he was cooking it, and seeing him pour a gallon of vodka in it. So it was pretty strong.
Right.
From what I know, I drank
stronger than.
Yeah. What we would do when I do the Navy, I'd take yeast,
Okay.
live yeast and sugar. Like think of the jet ski
Right.
gas tanks, of the
Right.
big 5-gallon.
Right.
And I would take live yeast, sugar, and grape juice, and then I'd put a rubber glove over it, and I'd put it in the back of the boxes. When it ferment, you'd shake it.
Right.
When the glove bursts,
It's ready.
Time for poker night. It'd give you a headache. It'd do the job. It'd give you a headache.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. A lot of bad hangovers on that. So.
Yeah, but
That's what they make in prison. That's what they call it, Pruno. I don't know what they call it in the military.
Navy, yeah.
And
Same thing.
Huh?
Same thing
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, so as I'm walking across Briggsmore to go get the bottle the next morning after I drink that Pruno, something tells me, why don't you go back to Alcoholics Anonymous? It's clear as day. And up until that point, man, it's nothing but, how to get more Dustin all day long. Right. Me. I didn't think about nobody else. I didn't care about nobody else. My mom almost got evicted. I got a woman pregnant living in my mom's house. I got a younger daughter also, and I'm going to jail for stupid shit. So up until that point, and that's why I really relate with Bill W. After he had his spiritual experience in the room, in the hospital room, he had thought, how many hundreds of alcoholics would like to have this?
Yeah, well,
no kidding,
right? So that's just not me on a normal basis. So for me to get that healthy thought, why don't you go back to Alcoholics Anonymous? I know today is my higher power. Definitely. I thought I was nuts at the time. I started walking down Briggsmore to go to the behavior health because I'm a easier, softer way guy. Maybe some medications would be the trick, right?
Yeah. Maybe a straight jacket, something. Yeah, done lost my mind.
Maybe that might even help with the prison kit with the 9 years. So, I walked for about 45 minutes. Somehow I ended up at a 6 o'clock meeting on Woodland at Living Sober. They had moved from Carver. And during the time when I was still selling from, 2000 and I was using 2000, 2006 around there, maybe 2006, 2011, sorry. In that time that I was in my addiction, I remember going to Living Sober and they had moved and it was like a Samoan temple or something now. And I'm like, oh, my connection doesn't want me to get clean. It's all him, he's part of this. I was wrapped up in that delirious or that delusional, drug-induced schizophrenia, man, was what I really was in the end. That's what I really was in the end. And, other people are after me. You're a snitch. They're a rat. Get away from me. Nobody talk to me and just let me get high, And so when I got that thought, I ended up at a 6 o'clock meeting. Seen Marvin there, the guy that I lied to, the guy that I didn't get honest with on the fifth step, I didn't get honest with myself. And he told me, damn, man, you look like shit, And
broken.
He said, here's my number. If you stay sober for the next 3 days, I'll start working the steps with you. And I stayed sober, man, for those 3 days. I don't know how I did it. I didn't say, and that's the craziest part is you always hear people say the three-word prayer, God help me. And I never did that, but maybe he knew what I wanted. Maybe he only knew what I needed. Honestly, he did know what I needed. Can
I ask a quick question on that, Dustin? Sure. Was your mom sober or was she praying for you?
She might've been.
Right.
So that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. My dad's whole side of the family is Christians. Mm-hmm. They live it, they breathe it, they eat it, they sleep it, they shit it. You know what I mean? They go to church on Sundays, Wednesdays, they don't cuss, they don't drink, they don't smoke. Like they live Christianity. So from the time I was, as far back as I can remember until I was 12 years old, I was going to church every Sunday. Hey, Grandma, can I come spend the day with you? I try to go to her house on Sundays because I knew I would get something. She'd take me to Mervin's or something, You know what I mean? So I always knew about God. Yeah. Always about Dustin. And so, yes, so there had been a God in my life. I didn't actually. It was a God that somebody tried to impress upon me, and I always was stubborn towards that. You're not going to tell me how to live my life, as the guys up there on the pulpit.
I'm doing a great job. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm doing a bang up job, guys.
And I remember hearing, when I got to AA, I thought I was hip, slick, and cool, but I looked toward the fuck up, man. I had staph infections. I had a staph infection on my knee that I had to get antibiotics for because I'm just popping.
How much did you weigh at the time?
I always run about 200 pounds, but you could see my cheekbones, and I was sucked up.
Okay.
Yeah, I was bad, man. And
you were street pretty.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was. Yeah. I remember how I had this one black sweater and it had like these gold chains on it. It looked like a tapestry, like a curtain. Yeah. That's what she said. It looked like some curtain hangers or something, But it had like this gold chain on. I thought I was the shit. You know what I mean? And, and I get back to living sober now, and I get tricked into going into a business meeting, and I got about 3 months now, and I'm working the steps. I did a life story inventory the first time around. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with
life story inventory.
Just write down your life story.
Yeah.
I think you and I have spoke about that before. Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Marvinites.
No, go ahead.
No?
No.
Okay. Marvin and his guys, man, they would approach guys at meetings that were tore up. You know, they didn't wait for somebody to come ask them to sponsor them. Hey, do you want this? Look, we got this part in the book says if you've crossed this line, you're probably an alcoholic, but we got a guaranteed solution, you know. And we would approach guys, man. But what Marvin didn't believe in was any kind of outside medications. He didn't believe that you were going to get sober if you still took some kind of medications. That's one thing me and him disagreed on. And so not a lot of people labeled us. I was a Marvinite because I went and stayed at his house. He was the one that took me through, and I did a life story inventory. He said, "Hey, just start writing from this earliest memory that you have." You know, so I remember when I was 4 years old or something, and I just started writing. And in the end, man, I had a spiral notebook, 80 page, you know, and some of it was insanity, some of it was resentment, some of it was just crap. You know what I mean? So.
You think it helped you?
What's that?
Do you think it helped you?
Oh yeah.
Do you think it did you?
It would. I mean, it got the pen. It got the pen flowing.
Right. Right. No, I mean, I've actually thought about doing that myself, just for writing, because I know writing moves things.
So for the first 3 years with Marvin, I would do a 10-step every night, and it had a list of, you know, were you selfish, self-seeking, were you afraid, were you in any fear, and then the other side, it's page 85 or page 86,
which is actually step 11.
You know, what did you do to pack anything into the stream of life? You know,
it is.
You always.
What is? So I'm not.
He's a big book thumper.
He is a thumper, brother. He's a thumper.
So, but go ahead.
And you see that smile on his face, though?
I know he gets smile.
I love it.
He is.
I was a big book thumper.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember after I read it. Right. That's the roughest part for me is remembering.
Same here.
If I write it down for a little while, I'll remember it. Right. But what's funny is something will trigger me and I can bring it like that.
Yeah.
Right? But he can just sit here and just remember.
Well, the emotion is tied in with that page or whatever you went through. That's what brings you back.
Every time.
For me, every time.
And every page I've got it because I needed this.
Yeah.
I didn't call my sponsor in the middle of the night at 2:00 when the fucking night terrors were on me. So I had to have this in my mind and my heart to bring it, you know, just to get me through.
I didn't call my sponsor. He was a motherfucker. That's why.
I wouldn't call that little prick.
Well, I changed him.
I'd fire that fucker.
I did fire him.
Fuck that guy. Piece of shit.
What do they say? The therapeutic value between the pen and the paper, man. You never know.
Oh, really?
You know?
Yeah,
so
I agree.
And I mean, that's for me. That's what it took. There was resentments, insanity. So by now it's about 3. I think I got maybe 3 months, and they tricked me into coming to a business meeting at Living Sober, and
getting into service.
I'm in the service, and I'm already on step 10 because I took that inventory through the 6 and 7, and he had his own way of doing 6 and 7. It wasn't right out of the book. Since then I went back through and done the resentment inventory, fear inventory, sex inventory, but he would do a 6 and 7, which was any thoughts, feelings, and actions. And as I was reading the 5th step, it was a co-ed house. It was off of college, man. And him and his wife have some money, but nobody ever enters the house. He built on 2 rooms to the back of his house. And then you had a refrigerator and a laundry room. And then he had 1 room for people that worked. They had 4 bunk beds and a day bed. And then the people that didn't work had 4 bunk bed or 2 bunk beds and a day bed. And then there was another bed for people that were kicking. There was in the laundry room.
You got the Jimmy legs coming off of heroin. That's where you go.
Yeah. And he told me, look, you put in 5 applications a day and you stay right in your 4-step, and I'll let you live here for free. Or you just pay me $300 once you get a job. And I'm like, okay, man. So,
did I miss something? Your wife divorced?
So me and her are still fighting like cats and dogs.
All right.
She's still at my mom's house.
Okay. All right.
I almost got kicked out. I did get kicked out of Marvin's because one night I left after 11 o'clock. Come back the next morning as I'm laying in bed with her at my mom's. I realized, oh man, I just screwed up. I just screwed up for the best chance I had to ever staying sober, staying clean, because now I'm right back in my neighborhood.
Right.
which wasn't far from college in Bowen to Briggsmore and Carver.
But light years away from where you were.
Clean and sober environment is what it was.
Right.
Nobody else was directly using, and people were trying to stay clean.
Right.
And that's what helped me. So I go back to Marvin's house that next morning. He's got my shit packed. He's like, "Hey, your stuff's right there. Go." And I'm like, "No, Marvin, I need to stay. Nope." He said, "Come. If you're still doing your 10 steps in a week, you can come back." I was still doing my 10 steps, but I never went back. And I stayed clean and sober. I've been clean and sober from that point on. So that life story inventory, yes, I do believe definitely helped.
Absolutely.
It got a lot of crap out. I don't know if you guys ever seen that meme of the kid wearing the backpack, and it's talking about him walking into the AA meeting with his 4-step and all the garbage he's been carrying, and it's like touching the ground. It's a big, huge duffel bag with the backpack. And that's what I got to do. I got to dump a lot of crap that I was carrying. And it definitely helped me. It kept me sober for the next 2.5, 3 years until I got Robert E. And
you see him at Escalon meetings, Robert.
Okay.
No, I don't think you do. Robert's in Missouri now.
Oh, what Robert's that? Oh,
Robert.
Yeah, okay. Different Robert.
Yeah, but that's still Robert.
So you don't know everybody.
No, don't every Robert.
Just sit there and shut up.
But I know some guys out there in Escalon, good guys out there, man. So anyway, man, that kept me sober. I'll back up just a little bit. So they went from, so now I'm on step 10. I've made a few amends to, my aunt and my grandma for stealing out of their purse. When I would go stay those Sundays, I was in their purses, so I've made some direct amends to direct family.
How did they take that? Because this is your Christian side of the family, right? Extreme Christian side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did they accept those amends at first?
At the time we're glad that you're doing what you're doing. We're glad that you're clean. We're glad you're sober. Keep doing what you're doing.
Good.
They didn't ask for none of the financials back. It was never no substantial amount of money. It's
right.
changed.
No, for sure.
Still owe it.
Right.
As a few sponsors I've heard say, every dime you get to pay back. And that's how you stay sober, and that's how you get to be free. But anyway, yeah, man, I have made some amends. Living sober has me in service. They dropped from 9 years to 7 years on the 9-year prison term. They offer the 5, and I'm back now living at my mom's with my ex-wife there. And Jerry Brown, the governor at the time, in 2011 signed the AB 109, which they weren't sending nobody to prison for nonviolent crimes, and I had a petty theft.
Yeah.
So truly believe that was God's, God blessing me. I stayed out on bail, went to every one of my court cases, seen my public defender walking through the courtroom, and I was going to take that 5 years. She tells me, I said, "Hey, Mrs. Panu, I'll take that 5-year deal." She said, "No, they're going to sign a bill. We're going to postpone this for 30 days. You're going to fall under that category." So I got 2 years with half out of the deal. And so I'm going to go turn myself in. Now I got about 8 months sober, 9 months sober. I go to turn myself in. The guy at the gate says, "The lieutenant doesn't want you. Go to AWP, Alternative Work Program."
Yeah.
So I go to Alternative Work Program. They said, "Well, it's going to take you 1.5 years because we only work Monday through Friday. It's going to take you 1.5 years to do that year sentence." I said, "So give me something saying you guys deny me so I can go back to the jail so I can go do what I got to do, because this is not me on a normal basis to go turn myself in, right? This is not something I do, but now I'm in recovery, trying to do the right thing, right?" And
ain't it a bitch? Damn it.
They said, "Well, what about electronic monitoring?" So I go up to electronic monitoring, second floor. Deputy slides the window open. "Hey, Mr. Cho, how you doing?" He calls me by my last name. It's one of the deputies from the honor farm, and he knows me, Indian guy, Singh. He's actually a Modesto spokesman, Modesto PD spokesman now or something. But can you get $300? So I call Marvin, my sponsor, right? And this is a funny part of the story, and I like to tell it. If anybody's ever seen the movie Friday, where Craig asks his mom to borrow $300,
come on,
and he's like, I don't feel comfortable loaning you $300 without a job, And I'm like, okay, So I tried. I tell the deputy, Singh, like, "Hey, man, I can't get the money. This is a deal. I'm clean and sober. I'm trying to do the right thing." He's like, looks me up and down. He's like, Choate, I'm going to give it to you for free. So he gives me the ankle monitor for free, no money down, comes out, puts it in my house. I'm in service. I start chairing a meeting on Wednesday nights. So let me go to two meetings a week at night on the ankle monitor. And I did a year and a day on the ankle monitor, which was a state sentence. So when I got released, I'm like, am I on parole? Am I on probation? So I remember going down and getting a letter. I still have it. There was a release from probation and parole saying this subject is not on any care of any, probation or
You're free.
Free, man. And that was all by getting clean and sober, Worked the steps again with Robert. Got a lot of relief with my dad, a lot of prison stuff, a lot of mom stuff.
Was Dad still alive at this time?
Oh yeah.
Is he still alive now?
No.
Okay.
No. Passed away from this disease. He'd been in and out of prison all his life, man.
Okay. But he got to see you sober.
Yes, he did.
Good.
Yes, he did. He come to live with me. He actually chose the man that's sponsoring me today to sponsor him, and tried to do this deal. But when you're 65 plus, 60s plus, I can't imagine doing it's hard. It was hard enough for me to do a 4-step when I was 30, right?
I did mine at 53.
30.
Yeah.
30.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
I get it.
Yeah. So he actually, Austin is my sponsor today, and he actually had asked Austin, and he had a liking for some prescription pills and passed away in my living room. And I resuscitated him, had my kids there. It was a whole traumatic experience. You know what I mean? It was tough. But I stayed sober through it, man. And that's only because I got into service in Alcoholics Anonymous. I started going to men's meetings. I didn't take every suggestion, but the men's group, man, on Tuesday nights at Living Sober was, I never missed it.
That used to be fire. Well, I mean, it still is good, but it used to be.
Yeah.
On what nights?
Tuesday nights.
Tuesday nights.
You'd go there and it'd be like wall to wall.
Is there still a men's group on Tuesday nights?
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
Is it really?
but it's not as. It was like the meeting that you didn't go there either. Like the Friday night, remember the Friday night meetings at the hospital, Oakdale. You're talking 1,000 years of sobriety, maybe. I mean, years. And you just say your sobriety, your name.
I've heard that. I've heard that a lot.
Time, and it would go around. And I just go there and listen sometimes. Hear like the Elliots and the
Yeah.
who was my neighbor.
The only reason why I asked that is because my sponsee right now is struggling with meetings, and I keep telling him you need to get into because he's struggling with meetings, and I think it's because he's still going into mixed meetings. I think he needs to get in. I think he needs to get
our Monday night meeting.
He needs to get an indie meeting.
Yeah.
Right. But I think he, the Monday night. He's there sometimes. It's just hard.
I haven't seen it for a while.
Right. But he's doing fine.
Where's this at? Monday night.
Yeah, you'd probably love that. Yeah.
Where the River Road, Oakdale,
right next to the liquor store.
Yeah, there's a quilting store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And one of the guys I sponsor, his wife and him own it, and we have a meeting.
It's not even an AA meeting. Okay. It's
Well,
not even an AA meeting. It's not.
We're going through the big book.
We're going through the big book.
Oh, okay.
But it's definitely not sanctioned by any means. We'll get in there and bullshit.
It's not sanctioned. And if one of our brothers has a problem or struggle or something,
we just stop.
The meeting's for us, for the men.
Right.
To hold each other accountable, just like a big brotherhood.
Shitload of cross talking too, and it's a blast.
But it's great.
Shut the fuck up! Fuck you!
But a lot of healing happens.
It's a ton of healing.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be sober
more than
if it
welcome
wasn't for that.
Mondays, 6 p.m.
Camaraderie.
Oh my god.
Fellowship.
Yeah.
Monday, 6 p.m. every Monday. More than welcome.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you're sober. One of the biggest things with our podcast is it's recovery unfiltered, right? So, god damn it, Robert, Rob Don,
that son bitch.
I'm gonna shut that monitor off
ahead.
so you can't stare at yourself.
Keep talking, Dick.
When did your promises start? When did you start feeling those promises come to you, Dustin?
So
I love this part of recovery, by the way. If you haven't noticed in our podcast, I talk about these a lot.
So 3 years into being sober, I still had my ex-wife living with me, and she's still smoking weed. And we were sitting at Del Taco, and Priscilla's favorite place.
I love their chicken tacos.
Right? I
chicken
love the
soft
damn
tacos.
chicken tacos.
Their
Soft
chicken
tacos,
soft
too.
tacos are the best.
Are they?
Oh my god!
So we're sitting there on Carver and Stanford, and my kids are playing in the fun land.
You have 2 daughters.
2 daughters, and she's baked out of her mind, and she's crunching on a crunchy taco. And I've talked to my sponsor. I went to an Al-Anon meeting because of that situation, one Al-Anon meeting at Northside and pretty much realized, oh, they're talking about the big book. I need to worry about me and stay in my own damn lane. Right? That's pretty much Al-Anon, right? In a nutshell. For me, it was. That's what I heard when I went and realized I probably didn't. I just need to stay in my own lane. So I tried to stay with her. So there was a lot of still not domestic, physical. There was a little physical. I'm not going to lie. Going on. And so I went to serve her some paperwork. I had one of my buddies from Marvin's house went and had her served at Domino's. And it was a Tuesday night. And she knows, where's Dustin going to be at a Tuesday night at 6 o'clock? Living sober. So she slings the door open.
Mid-meeting.
The meeting's just getting ready to start. Okay. And I'm sitting next to Robert, and Sonny's on the other side of me. And she swings this door open, and I imagine the energy she felt. She took one step in, and she stepped right back out. You know, it was full wall to wall. I mean, you got guys all the way from Oakdale, Manteca sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it was packed. Like, that was any fellowship. That's where all the men went. Right. North side, you know, any fellowship, Modesto fellowship, all that. Turlock guys would come there. So once she was out of my life, once I got her, you know, and I started focusing more on me, that's when I could say the promises came true.
You felt it.
I mean, the obsession had left. Once I'd done that 4-step and I got honest, the second time. The freedom. I don't know when the psychic change happened, the psychic, you know, that shift.
Yeah.
But I knew that honesty was the greatest policy of Alcoholics Anonymous, right? So I got honest with that resentment, first of all. I started getting honest with the cash register honesty. I started doing littering, little things, picking up cigarette butts, people's trash outside the fellowship. I started taking the suggestions. And I knew that I couldn't steal no more. Like, I just knew that had to be eliminated out of my life. And that's one thing that I don't do. I did it one time since I got sober.
How'd that make you feel?
Once my sponsor pointed it out, I immediately took the shoes off and went and donated them to a homeless guy. But on the inside, and going back to that man who run that facility, because I was taking my ex-wife's hours for welfare to work. She was staying home smoking weed, and I was doing welfare to work and going to get my GED. And I was working for the Hope Chest donations for hospice.
Right.
And I went back to his name is Ushia, and I said, "Look, I stole these shoes, and I need to make this right. How much would you charge me?" He said, "You know, you're the first person that's ever came in here and told me that you stole from this place." And I'm like, yeah, you should be on that floor, Ushia. I'm watching this guy. Larry S. He runs that. I think he's from Oakdale. Larry S. I don't want to say his last name. He runs a print and dye, like a metal dye shop.
Yeah, I know.
You know who it is?
I know.
Larry?
I know who Larry is.
So Larry walks in with this guy one day. This guy that I have a resentment against.
Well, one of our buddies is married to his daughter. She's also one of us.
Yeah.
She's a redhead.
Yeah, she knows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He knows who I'm talking about. Yeah. He employed a lot of people, and I tried to get a job through him, and I never got hired. But anyway, Larry walks in with this guy that I'm working with at the Hope Chest. This is years later. Larry walks into Living Sober with him. But this guy's stealing stuff left and right. And, of course, I'm not talking to my sponsor about none of this. And I'm building a resentment. This guy's stealing stuff and getting away with it. Like, that used to be me, right? So this pair of Nikes comes in, and it's got the paper still in the shoe.
Oh, boy.
Stuffed in it.
Brand new.
My size. Oh, yeah, they were mine. Pair of Nikes.
God put them right there to test you. Right there. Let's see what old Dustin, see if old Dustin's still around.
Shortcomings were still alive and well. I take them. I'm going into these meetings. I'm going to Living Sober.
Wearing those pretty Nikes.
Talking all this God and spiritual stuff,
and
right?
This guy comes walking in.
Well, no, I'm at home fighting with her, and I'm going to my sponsors, and I'm sitting in his driveway. Robert's leaving the men's meeting one night, and I'm across the street by MID, and I'm smoking a cigarette. And I said, "Hey, Robert, by the way, I stole a pair of shoes," as he's driving away. Of course, like a good sponsor, he didn't call me. He didn't pressure me. He waits a couple weeks, goes by, you know, and I'm in his driveway, and I'm bitching at her, excuse my language, and I'm cussing her, and don't you know she's the problem, and she's the problem. And he's looking down at my shoes in his driveway. And he's looking down at my shoes again. And about the third time he looked down, I was like, oh, man. He said, you're going in them AA meetings talking all that God spiritual stuff, and you got a stolen pair of shoes on your feet. Do you think that could have any effect of your spirituality, if you're spiritually fit or not? And I'm like, oh, man. So all right, Robert. All right, we're done here. So I go home, take my shoes off, and I go donate them to a homeless guy at the gas station, right? So to get back to your question, man, the promises, when they started coming true, was when I realized I had a good friend that was in the program, struggled in and out, had 10 years, 11 years. He told me, hey, this truck driving place will pay for your truck driver's license. And I've been struggling to keep a full-time job because of my background, because I have a lot of theft, commercial burglary, grand theft of $1,000 or more, petty thefts, buy rights letting me go. Walmart won't even give me a second. They gave me a second interview, but when my background came back, they let me go. And my buddy worked there, and they got parolees that are straight out of prison stocking shelves that night, and they still let me go, right? Or they wouldn't hire me. So, matter of fact, I'm sitting with Robert going through the book, and Shannon Wright calls.
Okay.
Robert says, hey, do you know anybody working the steps and looking for work? And I'm like, and Robert's like, well, matter of fact, I do. And I'm sitting right next to him, and I couldn't keep a full-time job, man.
God.
So I went to, God's doing doing for me what I can't do for myself, man. I got let go of Buy Right 2 days before Christmas. And I still see the lady she works at Walmart, and she was in tears, I remember, when she let me go. And so I get to working with Shannon Wright, man, and he's in the program. He's a good Christian guy, was solid for me, solid working there for me, the camaraderie me and him had and the things he taught me. And he's got about the same amount of time I have. But
Can you say where that was at?
What's that?
Where were you working at?
It's a little machine shop right here in Ceres called Gaylord Manufacturing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And
you still there?
No.
Oh.
No. I worked there for about 3 years, and my buddy was in truck driving and told me this place will hire me, or I have to sign a contract with them for 8 months, but they'll pay for my license. Mm-hmm. So I jam out to L.A. I get my last paycheck. I write a resignation letter. Wow, that's new, right?
Right.
Write a resignation letter, get my last paycheck, and I'm working for this other guy doing estate sales, and his name was Sarge. He hands me $300. I take my last paycheck was like $400 or $500. I don't know. I run off to L.A. The fear that I had behind ever leaving a 4-block radius from Carver to Orangeburg to Briggsmore, like I never left.
Yeah.
Right. Because I knew if I left, I was going to get in trouble somehow, some way. And I had a lot of people doing transactions for me that I didn't have to leave the house a lot. So when I realized what I did, I wrote a resignation letter. I took that last paycheck and I took off to L.A., to Riverside, California. And I realized that fear that I used to have was gone. Like, that's
awesome, huh?
That was like, for me, that's when I knew the promises were really working in my life. I mean, but like I said before that, the obsession had left. The psychic change, I don't know. After listening to the men in the men's meetings, taking the suggestions.
Can I make an observation?
Sure.
Just real quick, listening to you. Do you think your obsession left when you were walking across that road?
When you should have went back to AA?
When you should have went. Do you think that that God, remember that you said earlier that you had a just thing in your head just went off?
Moment of clarity.
That moment of clarity came out. Do you think your obsession was gone? If you had to think back on it a little bit, do you think your obsession left then? You still dabbled. But
no, I mean, because when I met at Marvin that day, he told me you stayed sober for the next 3 days.
Okay.
I don't even know I stayed sober the next 3 days.
Right.
I don't even remember the next 3 days.
That obsession had to be lifted right there.
Yeah. It could have. It definitely could have been.
I mean, the only reason why I bring that up is because as you were saying that, I'm like, I think his obsession was lifted back earlier, and I don't think he just felt it. I know exactly when my obsession
and
left.
Here's the thing: the promises were coming true from those 3
Right,
days. From that
right.
moment. We don't recognize.
That's why I was asking him that question. Right. That's why I was asking you that question: is how when you felt those promises starting to come back, because I think we're blinded by when our promises started to come. I think my promises started to come true the minute I walked into that guy's office and his chairs were turned around, right? Because that's when my obsession was lifted, and that's when everything turned around. In my recovery, and everything turned around then.
Then we still got to go deal with the isms.
Right. I didn't know that's when I didn't realize that's when my obsession was lifted until I was 9-10 months sober, when this knucklehead starts talking about, I don't have desire to drink anymore, and I think about breathing. I'm like, fuck, I don't. And then I had to start thinking about that. And I'm like, I hadn't even thought about drinking since that day.
Since God removed that.
I hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I was asking that.
No, question. I mean, that could have been it. Definitely. Cause like I said, I don't even know I stayed sober the next 3 days. I don't even remember the next 3 days.
Right.
I just remember calling him and starting I did another life story inventory with him at the time. And then like I said, 3 years later, I got with Robert. And I went back through the book and did the full resentment inventory,
the whole
6
deal.
and 7, prayer, all that.
Yeah.
After I got my truck driver's license, that fear of the financial, the economic insecurity, like for me to take my last check and then somebody give me $300, and actually, Angel wired me $100, him and his wife, the guy that told me about the job being hired down there. You know, once I come back, man, still had trouble getting hired. I was 3 months with a truck driver's license. Had a couple on-off relationships. She was telling me, we need to talk when you come back to California.
Your ex-wife?
No, this is the on-off relationships.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know, maybe 2 years I was with her.
Something like that.
And so my trainer that's training me for my truck driving, I do the schooling. I take off to LA. They put you in a lodge. We stay there for 3 weeks. On the 4th week, you take all your tests for the DMV for your truck driver's license, all that. And I run out of money, and I called Angel. Angel sent me $100. I go out on the road with this guy. His truck blows up in Santa Fe Springs.
Truck driver.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
He blows up the oil cooler. So they tow it to a mechanic shop. I'm stressed out. She says, we got to talk when you come back to California. I'm like, oh, man, I don't know what this is, you know.
Santa Fe Springs is still California.
Not Santa Fe Springs, excuse me. We left Santa Fe Springs for Colorado.
Okay.
And we were in Arizona somewhere.
Okay.
We're in Arizona, not Santa Fe Springs. Can't even remember where we were at. I remember walking to the Alano Club in Arizona. For 3 days, we were in the motel.
Okay.
And he's working on the mechanics are working on his truck, trying to figure out what happened. Oil cooler blew up. I walked to the Alano Club there in Arizona, and there's a freaking pedophile van with the doors off, parked with tagging on the side of it, right in front of the Alano Club. I'm like, oh, I'm with my people now. Even though it was a pedophile van, the doors were off and it had graffiti on it, and I'm like, oh, this is the Alano Club, huh?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You know?
That's funny.
So I'm stressed out. You know, I'm trying to use the book. I'm reading the Bible in the nightstand next to, you know, and I'm stressing out. She wants to break up, all that good stuff in my head, you know. Come back, of course, we break up. Stay sober, do all that. Go back to working for that shopping series.
With your even though you had your license?
Yeah, because I only had 3 months driving. Okay. So I canceled the. I had a cramp in my leg. I voided their contract.
Okay.
The 8-month contract with CRST.
Okay. Yeah.
I broke the contract. Well. Yeah. So anyway, I go back to work at Gaylord for a while. What was I gonna say? Yeah, go back to Gaylord for a while. I think it's in December when I had come back. Yeah, because I left in August. Yeah. So it's like about December now. What was I going to say is I stayed away from her for relationships for a while. And then I worked the steps with John W. from Escalon. And
John
and Marianne.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going on about a year. No relationship, no nothing. Trying to focus on me, do what I'm supposed to be doing. I always heard about stay out of relationships. So John tells me, when are you going to get back out there? You know, when are you going to get back out there in the dating game? And I got about 11 months without a relationship. I'm like, nah, John, I'm doing good. You know, it's the greatest I've ever felt.
Them women are crazy. I don't want nothing to do with them.
Then I do a friend
In
request.
comes me. In comes me.
Then I do a friend request. She has a couple of friends in common with us with me on Facebook, and I'm sober. I'm doing my chair positions. I'm in service at Living Sober. I'm doing H&I for the first 5 years of my sobriety. I'm meeting guys at Nirvana. Some days I'm just reading the book with guys. I'm not really sponsoring nobody, but I probably started 100. I don't know how many guys on the steps, but it kept me sober. Right. No relationship. 8 years. Was I 8 years?
I think
9 years.
9 years.
9 years sober.
Yeah.
And I like to always tell this story because I didn't 13 step her.
Oh, come on. What?
Come on.
That's where I enter. Yeah, that's where I come in.
Yeah.
He sent that friend request on
I
Facebook.
sent a friend request, and her and her friend Katrina I'm chairing a Wednesday.
Oh, he's telling part of my story right now. When I came around,
Is this the Katrina that I know?
Yes, Katrina. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm chairing. I'm looking for a topic.
Now I'm all excited.
I'm looking for a topic for a 6 o'clock meeting on a Wednesday, and I get a phone call, and somebody on the other end, and I knew she drank. I knew she partied.
We had already been dating for a little bit, talking and stuff. So yeah. But then he was getting ready to chair a Wednesday meeting. Go ahead.
She's already dominating
Katrina
you,
gets
bud.
the phone from her. I'm like, okay, just keep the phone away from her for the next hour and a half at least. I'm trying to pick a topic for an AA meeting, and
I was drunk.
I don't know how many
I was drunk.
pictures of margaritas in,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of had an idea that she was, a drinker, but I never forced it on her.
Mm-hmm.
Back then when I served that paperwork to my ex-wife, I went through this, and I believe I need to share this because in recovery, we never tell nobody we're now they're alcoholics. Right. We don't force nobody to do anything. It's got if it ain't your idea, it's not a good idea.
That's right.
Until you're done, right? And when I served her that paperwork for my custody for my kids, she was getting ready to leave to Oklahoma, and her parents had sent my ex-brother-in-law to my house and said, "Hey, we heard that you had 16 months sober. Stephanie's getting ready to take off with your kids to Oklahoma, and we don't feel that's right." So
God bless.
No kidding.
Right.
Had your back.
And I served her. She swung that door open at Living Sober. That was the time, And so now, where was I going with that?
When we met. Well, not when we met, but when
forcing anybody.
Yeah, he would not force that on me.
Well, she said,
so this had to be because you're at the same time sober I am. So this is 2020 or 2021.
I came into the rooms about 2020.
COVID, right before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I was introduced around the rooms because he had friend requested the New Year's Eve of 2019 up into 20, and I accepted on 2020. So yeah, so that's when I got introduced to the rooms, but wasn't convinced yet. And then that's where my story will pick up soon. But yeah.
Well, the reason why I said that is that I had an experience with my ex-wife. I'll do the steps. I'll go to meetings. I'll do whatever it takes when I served her. And she never got sober.
Right.
She still to this day lives out here somewhere, actually a couple blocks from here, and still does her deal, And I don't know what she does. God bless her. I pray for her. She's in my prayers. I still pray for a relationship with my youngest daughter. To this day, she's in my prayers, man. And long story short.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. You said you don't have a relationship with your youngest daughter?
No.
Okay.
It's estranged right now.
Okay.
A lot of alienation.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I didn't want to jump past that.
Yeah.
But what about your oldest?
Oldest, I have a granddaughter to come back into my life.
Awesome.
She's recently we have a Friday the day after Christmas. We're supposed to be meeting up with her. We were just there a week ago. I have a granddaughter that was born on Halloween.
Yeah.
2025.
Yep.
That my daughter had came to me and told me, Mom, there was a lot of alienation. There was days I wanted to call you Dad. There was days that I just didn't want to deal with the wrath of Mom by having you around. And, there was some stuff on my part that I did that I will own my stuff on. And there's a lot of stuff that she's just still hasn't left. She's who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it that way.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of alienation. I went to court-ordered counseling to get to have a relationship with my youngest daughter. What are the mediators? The mediator appointed court-ordered counseling. I was paying $120 or me and my ex-wife were paying half, $60 an hour, or I'm paying $60, she's paying $60. And the court order counselor even said, there's a lot of alienation. I had to stop your ex-wife from talking about you in front of your daughter.
Wow.
So that stuff's still going on. God bless her. Only thing I can do is pray and keep doing my part and the next right thing, and show my daughter that I'm trying to be the best man that I can be, and try to practice some principles that Alcoholics Anonymous had taught me.
Yep.
Right. How old's your youngest?
She will be 14.
Okay.
She'll be 14 in February.
So she doesn't remember you drinking at all then?
No.
She doesn't.
She's never seen me.
Right.
But there was, like I said, there was still some.
Oh, no, for sure.
Dustin wasn't the best guy.
Right.
Yeah,
so
there was a lot of stuff that got seen. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up because she said she would do the steps. She never actually did do the steps. It wasn't her idea, right? So when my lovely, beautiful fiance came around,
who was
still drinking, it was during COVID.
Who was providing the entertainment? That's what I like to say.
Well, yeah, when I get to mine, because two of the men that were my first encounter to AA are in this room. That was my first introduction. Be fun. So yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I don't. In 2020, I met Priscilla, did that friend request, and she had to tell me, "Hey, motherfucker, I want to go to a meeting," because I knew I had the experience with my ex-wife, like I did with the book and the AA, all the old timers.
Let them come to it.
Let them come to it, man, and it worked.
Let them see it in you, and let them come to it on their own.
Yeah.
Right. And me and Priscilla have an activities commitment that we've done for the last 5 years at our fellowship. We've been involved in conferences. You ran the speaker meeting, conference, birthday speaker meeting. Matter of fact, I was doing the birthday speaker meeting when
I met him. Yeah.
When I started going to Living Sober, man, there was meetings that were getting blacked out. I mean, Living Sober was begging for toilet paper, and Bob O started that birthday speaker meeting at the Harvest Hall with 5 raffle prizes, and he would bring speakers in from the Bay Area. And he got a Living Sober Improvement Reserve, and that's the man that I watched, in my sobriety, bring that place up. So I remember, and she'll tell you guys more about it. She's like, "What do you mean you're going to buy some prizes?" She's like, "Oh, I like to shop. I'll go with you to do that." I was looking for some raffle prizes, So I've stayed committed to the program. There's only been one 6-month commitment in the last 14 years that I haven't chaired or done something in Alcoholics Anonymous.
But that's what keeps us sober. Doing the deal.
You driving truck?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Who do you work for?
I work for CRST. Oh, and let me. I work for MHX out of Stockton in the port. We do flatbed.
I know.
Iron. Yeah. And since then, I went back with my sponsor to try to clear that contract up that I broke. And what they can't do is, with a promise to work, they can't hold you in a contract like that. They were actually being sued.
Right. No.
And so I tried to clear that up because as a man that's living by some principles, they gave me my livelihood. And it was, I think, $3,000 or something to get the license at the time back in 2011 or 2017, excuse me. So I wanted to clear that up. So me and my sponsor did some homework on it, and I didn't have to end up paying because they can't.
No, I actually had to go. That's funny he says that because I actually got pulled in. I got pulled into litigation on 2 or 3 because I work in the fuel business.
Okay.
And there was 3 companies that were doing that at the period of time that it was difficult to get drivers, right? So they were paying that same thing, right? They would do that, and it ended up being extremely illegal, right? Yeah. So.
And I think I've gotten a couple of class action lawsuit checks for like $16.03.
Right. Yeah.
Here and there. But, if I wouldn't have, I remember going to work for CRST, I don't know why I keep saying CRST, for MHX. And this one here was pushing me because you have to do everything on a tablet. Right. And I'm not very tech savvy. I did work my way back from community element or reentry Blue Gum Juvenile Hall School to Davis, and I started learning there when I was back in high school, and I remember liking to learn once I started putting my effort to it. You know what I mean? But this one here, she pushed me, man. She told me you can do that, and I went from making peanuts, $17 an hour to making a little bit of good money now, And
women in our lives are amazing, aren't they? They are. I would still be driving truck if it wasn't for mine. There's nothing wrong with that. I I would never have excelled as to where I'm at if it hadn't been for Katie. Right.
Right.
Our women in our lives
Dr.
are
Bob
amazing.
talks about that. I've read that quote
Right.
many times on this
Right.
from Dr. Bob's story. The women we pick are
Yeah.
amazing.
They just see more potential in us than what we see in ourselves.
Right.
And that's what's cool as hell.
And they push us out of our comfort zone.
Right. Right.
That's definitely what she did. and it's been all rainbows and unicorns ever since.
We know you're full of shit.
He always says it's like a walk in the park, but a park at night in the hood.
Yeah.
So,
And last year I asked her to marry me in Monterey at
Lover's Point.
Lover's Point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will be getting married this February.
14th.
February 14th.
February
That's
14th.
Valentine's Day.
He's so corny. He asked me to be official on our our anniversary of dating is Valentine's Day, and I said that's so corny. I said, but whatever works. So then
That's
I
a
was like,
Monday too, isn't it?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, it's a
So I was
Saturday.
like, now
Okay.
we'll make it our wedding anniversary too.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's funny. Awesome. Well, Dustin, anything you'd give up? Anything you'd go back to? You miss anything?
No, man. I mean, you hear people say I wouldn't trade my best day
For my worst day sober.
Worst day sober.
Right.
Yeah.
For my best day drinking, and there's nothing about it, the drinking that I miss. Today, coming back from Vegas, we came back from State Line Conference, and there was this guy that got a Sprite and a moonshine next to me, right? And it's a little shot like this or something, and he poured about this much into the cup with the ice, and then fill the rest up with Sprite. And I'm like, dude, it's this big. Like, what are you doing, bro?
I know, dude.
What are you? Come on now,
Drink
right?
the damn thing.
And I'm still selfish, self-centered, right? Well, then he passes it to his wife or girlfriend next to him to taste it.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, okay, he was doing the gentleman thing, right?
he must not be one of us. Then.
So I'm waiting for him to pour the rest of it, and he does it again. He only pours this much, and so he did it 3 times. I'm like, the cup's only this big. Come on, man. Like,
And then when we were leaving the airport, we were eating at a burger place, and I noticed this kid was throwing away his alcohol. He's like, you see him? He wasn't even old enough. I was like, did you see he had still alcohol left in the cup?
Yeah, we look at all
I'm
that
like,
shit.
wow.
We do.
Yeah.
I see guys walking out of stores with 6-packs, and I'm like, "Fuck, are you gonna do with that?
Right.
What are you gonna do with that 6-pack?"
yeah, that thinking right there, the easier, softer way, the alcoholism, it got me nothing but charges,
Right.
broken promises, broken relationships, court cases, a lot of misery. What does the promise say? We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door.
Right.
Right. And there's so many things that would I have done them different? Yes, but would have I got to Alcoholics Anonymous because of it?
Right.
I heard this guy. We were walking to a meeting yesterday at the open discussion meeting at 7 a.m. and it was in a different room. And I was like, "Yeah, it won't be the first time we'd be late to a meeting, right?" And the guy, I'd never heard this before. He said, "Only meeting that you were ever late to was your first one." And I was like, "Wow, holy shit!"
That's pretty deep right there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this kid was younger. He looked younger than me, and I'm like, "Wow, he got some sobriety out here." Recovery.
He read that somewhere.
He probably
I'm
did.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Probably did.
That's good, though.
It is pretty good.
But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't trade none of it, man. I truly believe Alcoholics Anonymous has given me and God's done for me what I couldn't do for myself.
Right.
I grew up. I'm still
Right.
growing up in Alcoholics Anonymous,
Right.
still learning. The sponsor that I have today, I watched him come from prison to graduating with a bachelor's at Stanislaus State.
Wow.
And he's got a couple.
So he's behind you in
No.
sobriety? Oh,
No. He was there before me.
Okay.
He's got 18 years.
I think so.
Yeah. He's got 18 years, and he used to ride a bike to living sober just like I did. And he was humbled. He's humble, and he stuck around, and he's a counselor. And so I've been working on some values, some stuff that I never applied and never had pointed out to me in Alcoholics Anonymous when I did the steps. Some value systems, some qualities that Dustin has. What kind of values do I want to pass on? Qualities do I want to pass on in relationships at work?
Right.
My kids, stepsons that I have now that, I'm not much, but I'm the man around the house. So, I can't be acting out. I can't be throwing fits. I can't, I still have all that stuff lying right underneath the skin. My first sponsor told me the monster is right underneath the skin.
It's right there.
Yeah. So
mine still pops out from time to time.
He's doing a little bit of outside help with me.
Mm-hmm.
He's a counselor, but it's working.
Absolutely.
And
get all the help you can get, wherever it comes from.
And I, he told me the first time we met, he's like, I want you to look at this video and look at this video. And I watched the video, and one of them is positive affirmations, and I had heard some of that stuff going to meetings and always thought, yeah, whatever. Contempt prior to investigation. Like, I'm not doing that shit, right? And I've been doing it.
Herbert Spencer.
Right.
Fuck that guy.
So I've been doing a little bit of it, and it's been working for me, doing some writing and holding myself accountable to my own value system. And that's I never had.
Right.
I never respected myself. I never respected anybody to have respect, to hold value for someone if I don't respect myself, right? So a lot of stuff that I've never done before.
Listen, all this stuff we're talking about, not alcohol being mentioned, because that nothing to do with alcohol.
No.
It's got anything to do with myself and me. It's got nothing to do with it. Alcohol was not our problem.
It's called life.
Yeah.
This is just life. Being a good human being.
Our liquor was
life on life's terms today.
Yep. For sure. You know what? And it's easy. We still run into a lot of obstacles. Rob and I just talked about some that I'm dealing with. We worked through some stuff. Would you like, am I boring you?
No, go ahead.
Am I boring you? You okay? You got 5 more minutes for me?
Look at that.
5 more minutes? You're such a dick. We learned to do these things differently than picking up a bottle or doing the things that we did prior to masking our pains or masking the things. But we had to swallow a lot of ego and a lot of pride to do it the way we're doing it now. Right. Prior to this, I'd have just picked up a bottle, picked up something to mask it, and gone on down the road. I never had nothing of your story even relates to me because I was never
most of it relates to me because I was molested at the same age and and we're still the same age. I mean, that's why I love his story because there's a lot of it. Right. Is me.
Right. I mean, but correct. But how we dealt with all of it, we're all the same.
Right.
And
the way
solution.
And
the solution.
Well,
we're all the same.
And the principles that we practice.
Right. Yeah. But that's what keeps us here. That's why I love these rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, because none of us are the same, but we're all just alike. You know what I mean? Some of the guys that I love the most, if I'd have never walked in the rooms of AA, I would have never had the chance to meet them.
On page 17, there talks about the 2 powers, the power of the fellowship, the power of the spiritual awakening, or the psychic change.
And
we were people that normally wouldn't mix. Some of us would mix, and some of us did mix. But there's a lot of us that would never have met unless for this.
The relationships.
Some of the most blessings that I've got are from the men that I would have never spent 100%, a second with.
100%.
But that's what almost kept me out of the rooms when I first came in. I looked for all the differences, everything. I was like, I don't relate to these bikers, to these guys that have meth. I don't. What am I going to do with these guys?
Too late.
Yeah. So I was like, I was walking myself out, and then
Damn it, Rob.
It's
when I started looking for the similar. Yeah, it's not my yet. Yeah.
Right.
So
you're entitled to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a gift of desperation. I was drug-induced schizophrenia. I mean, prison didn't scare me. Yep. I mean, my dad knows a lot of people. I knew a lot of people. I knew if I ended up going to prison, I'd probably catch a case in there and probably be life. You know what I mean? But when I had a gift of desperation. I did it, as the book says, as a man, the drowning man.
Yeah.
Right.
What once was a flimsy reeve.
Yeah.
Became the, and I respect the people that come in and they have they're the PTA mom. They have the reputation. They have the house. They have the car. The humility that I've watched her bring herself to practice the steps. And I'm just like, man, that's all I had. Like the last house on the block.
This was it for me.
And after a while of hearing Priscilla share and seeing her growth in the program, her program amazes me. The humility that she has to practice. Where she's came from, she still had everything. Mm-hmm. And there's other men that
me and Priscilla probably have the same story then.
Well,
we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break.
Okay,
let's take a break. Let's come back and we'll jump into Priscilla's.
Yeah,
come back. We'll be back.
Hey, if you'd like to reach out to us, please email us at recoveryunfilteredpodcast.com. We will do our best to answer all of your emails.